This is Sports Talk on TriadSportsCoverage.com.
Better late than never. We're on the air here from Buffalo Wild Wings in Concord, North Carolina. My name is Mike Pettaway, and you're listening to Sports Talk on TriadSportsCoverage.com out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We're down here tonight for a benefit fundraiser for the Autism Society of North Carolina. 10% of the day's profits will be donated from Buffalo Wild Wings to the Autism Society of North Carolina. We have a house full of people, and if you like racing, this is the place to be. We have some dirt racers, some asphalt racers, some female racers, male racers, and we got a few old people who are looking at me like I'm crazy up here, but they'll be okay. And we have we're going to have Jake. Jake, I'll let you talk about it on the air, but what do you got that pink cast on your arm for? You know, go figure. A race car driver gets hurt snowboarding. And they say racing ain't safe. I guess that's not true. We have Mr. Ryan Repko. He gives me a mean look every time I see him, but he's going to be one of the co-hosts. And he's a rising race car driver in the late model rank. So is Mr. Ruggles. But we have Lenny Baticki with us tonight. And Lenny is from PRN at the track, Charlotte Motor Speedway, Director of Communications at Speedway Media. So that's a lot of words, Lenny. Are you really that important?
Oh, no, not as important as the drivers and the fans of the sport we all love, but just the guy that's fortunate enough to come out and be on the show with you guys. Was watching Ryan's tweets today as we follow him on PRN at the track, and he was saying he's going to be here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Concord, and we're thinking, where is that? And I thought, I drive by that place every day. It's a great location. Got to stop in and see some folks, and we brought along a few gifts from ZMAX Dragway. They're getting ready to run the 4-wide Nationals on a brand new track, and we thought we'd come out and provide some gifts for you.
I was at the 4-wide Nationals a couple of years ago taking pictures. And
knock your socks off, won't it?
I remember the U.S. Nationals back in Indianapolis years ago and how the ground shook then.
Yes.
When you get 4 of those cars, you better hold on to your bootstraps because it really does vibrate.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing. It is.
You know.
But we have a little bit of housekeeping to take care of before we get onto the show. But Lenny mentioned he's got 4 hats and tickets to the drag race. We're going to draw names out. I think my assistant, Ellen, is getting names from all the people in the audience. But we had mentioned in an article on our website that we were going to make some announcements tonight. And we're going to have to hold off on those. It's kind of like you want to make sure all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted. And once we get that finalized, there's some big news we're going to be announcing. And that big news is going to affect and impact the NCQMA in Salisbury, which is near and dear to my heart because I just love those kids that race. And while we're at it, congratulations to a former quarter-midget driver, Joey Logano, who's going to kick Jeff Gordon's butt someday, and he did, didn't he?
He had a great run yesterday, that's for sure.
And we want to send out our best wishes to Kyle Busch. No matter what you think of the gentleman, he's a great race car driver, and we feel badly that he got hurt and hope you get a speedy recovery. And Joe Gibbs, they'll pick up and keep going, but get well soon, Kyle. We're all pulling for you.
Indeed.
So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, I'm going to turn it over to Jake Ruggles. Is that okay? And Ryan Repko. And you can talk to Lenny and ask him whatever you want to ask him, and then we'll bring on the next segment. I'm going to be interviewing Miss Lacey Houghton, who's a reigning Rookie of the Year at NCQMA. And she has graduated into a different class of racing this year, and I want to get her thoughts on driving the faster cars. So we'll be talking to her on another segment. So let's go to commercial and come back. Mr. Ruggles and Mr. Repko will take it over. Thank you for listening, and we're at Buffalo Wild Wings in Concord, North Carolina.
Today, community means more than the place you live. It's groups of people connected by shared interests and similar experiences. Your yoga class, your work colleagues, your book club. With all the communities in your life, shouldn't there be one for your financial life? We're First Community, financial experts here to work with you on your personal, business, investments, and insurance needs. That's the power of community.
And we're back. on Triad Sports Coverage Sports Talk. We're with Lenny Batiki here, PRN's at the track. I think my question for Lenny right here is, what do you think the craziest place covering racing, what is the craziest place that covering racing has taken you?
Oh, let's see. Probably China. Going
Really?
over to the Formula One track in Shanghai before it was even finished and getting to drive around there. That was a pretty awesome experience. But I remember one of my absolute most awesome experience memories was the 1992 All-Star race when Davey Allison and Kyle Busch went to the finish with the brand new lights over at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I think of all the races, that was such a game changer to be able to put the stars of NASCAR out onto the public at night at over 180 miles an hour back then, and to see two of the sport's legendary families battling it out in the home of NASCAR. What an awesome finish and a great event. And, just the hair standing up on the back of my neck when they said start your engines that night, because the lights were on and we were all thinking, are the lights going to stay on? You guys have not experienced what it was like just to fire those lights up, but it was an amazing time. And I think it rivals anything that I've seen, whether it was four wide in its first time out, jet cars, nitro cars, any of it. To see those lights and to see the history that Bruton Smith rocketed the sport into with lights at a super speedway at Charlotte for the All-Star race in May of 92 was probably my most awesome sight.
Yes, sir. Lights definitely add a different feel to a race, no
They
matter
do.
what. It looks cooler just to see the lights reflecting on the cars.
Mm-hmm.
The Coke 600 is a cool one that starts in the afternoon and ends at night.
Yep, you're going to be able to go through the experience someday as a driver, that the incredible pre-race show where you're beside your car and they unveil the most gigantic American flag and pay tribute to those heroes on Memorial Day weekend, and then the flyover after the anthem, and then you buckle into your race car and they say start your engines and those cars wheel out and the snapshots up into the grandstands, and then you barrel off for 600 miles, hot car early on, and it's loose and it's fighting you, and then it gets into this neutral. There's about a 200-mile neutral, that between 200 and 400, where everything settles and it's this quiet. It's like the eye of the hurricane. And then that last 200 where they just go at it in the dark of night. It is incredible, the things that they do in those 600 miles, and I can't wait to see you strap in there. I hope I'm the guy leaning in saying, congratulations, you've won the Coca-Cola 600 someday.
Well, I certainly hope it works out. That would definitely be cool.
Well, we do too. That big screen, you'll look good on it, kiddo.
Well, hopefully. I hope that works out. It'd be awesome if it did.
You don't have to, like, when I interviewed Ryan Blaney for my radio show, he still calls me Mr. Batiki. When you win the Coke 600, you won't have to say that. You just say, hey, Lenny, I'm glad to win.
Okay, well, thank you. Okay.
How about Ruggles over there with the busted up arm there? What? Tell us again how that happened.
Well, I'm a race car driver, and I decided to snowboard for the first time and broke my arm.
Wow.
I stay away from that stuff, and that's why.
You get yourself put in a 5-point harness, a full chassis around you, and a helmet. Go out there and do the things that the Lord has given you the talents to. Hurry up and get well, because we need to see you back out on the track. And how about you got Blake Cisneros coming up? He is awesome when he runs the Legends cars at Charlotte, over at Millbridge, getting that big winged, mini sprint going. Nice stuff there. Bo
Yes.
Beaker Motorsports in the house.
Yes, sir. That's definitely a big team. They've basically taken over the intermediate division at Millbridge. Good cars. I actually ran a couple of races for them. Finished second in Outlaw Karts and was running either 6th or 7th at the summer shootout, but then I messed myself up by spinning out in 4. I saw a wreck, and I just wasn't used to how those cars drive, and I got to the brakes a little hard and spun out. But overall, it was a great experience. I had a blast.
How about Logano was a summer shootout and an Atlanta Legends racer. Darrell Wallace Jr., Ryan Blaney, a number of them that have come up from this area. Kids that you race against and yourself will ascend. The next 6-7 years, we'll be seeing you in a truck, seeing you out there in the K&N series, and I think that's what's so neat. to see people come through Charlotte Motor Speedway with their hearts, they're out, their dreams on the line. They push, they push, they push. They have the heartache, but they keep going. And then to see them be able to succeed in motorsports, that's what coming to the summer shootout has always been so fun for me, to meet these young drivers as they come up and then to watch them succeed.
Yes, sir. It's definitely encouraging for me as a driver who came from quarter midgets, seeing all these drivers from quarter midgets who at one point were in the same position I'm in, making the step to late models and different cars like that. I mean, Eric Jones, he's in trucks, he's succeeding, and Joey Logano, the most recent Daytona 500 winner. It's awesome to see those people succeeding and knowing that I got to experience what they did.
When is the next Arrive and Drive at the NCQMA? That's coming up. That's always an important time. Folks can go to ncqma.com, I'm sure, and be able to find that date. But if you've got a young person in your life that you want to be able to get in a family atmosphere, get in a place where they can learn in a safe environment, get them out to the NCQMA. It's right off of Highway 85 in Salisbury. Put them in one of these quarter midget cars. This Arrive and Drive is one of those neat things. The U.S. Legends does it a couple of times a year. And I think the family that races together stays together, because it's one of those things where you have to act as a team, even more so than team stick and ball sports, because the team aspect of it sometimes goes away when it's hiked or when the ball is pitched. But when that vehicle is out there on the racetrack, the quarter midgets, the legends, on up, everybody's got to get their part done. And the NCQMA is really doing a good job with the quarter midgets up there in Salisbury.
Yes, sir. My mom and my dad were probably my biggest supporters throughout the whole motorsport deal.
Yeah, you can't do motorsports without the love, the passion, and support of your family, and I think that shows all the way through. You saw Tom Logano up on top of the grandstand, his heart there as the laps wound down. Anybody that's a father or you just know that what he was going through, and to feel his excitement, to see it, and then they have the gate locked on him. They wouldn't let him across for a while.
Yes, sir.
I know if my son won the Daytona 500, I'd probably climb over the fence, fly over it to get to him.
Yeah, Tony Stewart style, when he used to climb over the fence.
Exactly.
Get the checkered flag.
But it was great, and that's what, these drivers, they still have, for the most part, with their families, are able to go with them. You'll see a lot of moms and dads, some of them more, kind of subdued in the background than Logano's father. But it's always a neat thing, and they start in the legends, the quarter midgets, the NCQMA. Got that Arrive and Drive coming up in, I think, about a month or so. If they look on the website, that's going to be good. You're going to be out for that? Some of the skilled drivers, the veteran drivers there to help folks, help the kids get around?
Well, I even thought about going over there and just strapping into 1-1 last time just to see it. Those were always fun. I had a blast. Very maneuverable cars, so you can have a lot of good racing in those. Unique thing about those is there's so much grip that you're able to cross people up and all kinds of stuff. It's a blast racing them. It really is. I mean, most moves that you can make in a sprint car, you can make in a quarter midget. It's a really good way to be able to try out open wheel without the excess speed and be able to learn on it. It's really cool.
I love kart racing. The quarter midget style with the roll cage over you, there's something unique and special, and it does remind me of the full-bodied sprint cars and even the outlaw cars once you put a wing on them. I think the NCQMA has picked up something really good. I think we go to break, but thank you for having us on. Enjoy the ZMAX Dragway hats and the T-shirts. 4 Wide's coming up March 27th, 28th, and 29th. All they've got to do is go to zmaxdragway.com, charlottemotorspeedway.com, because that 4 Wide, you get your baptism by nitro. Come smell some. Enjoy. I appreciate you guys having me on today, and we'll look for you at Charlotte Motor Speedway and ZMAX Dragway. Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming out.
Is your business going to die alone? Never meet the customers of its dreams? Just sit on the couch crying into a carton of ice cream while other businesses are out there thriving? New Expression can help. Without the right marketing, you're a wallflower. Without a great website, you're not going to turn heads. And without social media, you don't even have a friend to tell people what a great personality you have. New Expression can give your business a total brand makeover and get you out there, attracting customers. It used to be about who had the biggest ad in the phone book. Today, customers hit the web to locate and research before they call. If Google isn't steering customers to your site or they're not impressed by what they see, you're missing out. New Expression does web design and can provide a free analysis to see how your site stacks up against the competition. Don't have time to constantly constantly update social media? Want cool custom apps and graphics? New Expression can help there too. From print design to mobile marketing to online presence to brand identity, New Expression can help you express yourself. Find out more at nuexpression.com.
I think that signal means we're back on the air. Is that correct, Mr. Producer? Always. Now see, he's getting smart. Always does. I have a very special guest here with me right now. I'm going to interview. We're kind of very informal. We just anybody that shows up that puts a headphone on, we let them talk. So, and Mr. Repko was very nice to relinquish his headphone and let me talk again. So I appreciate that. But we have Miss Lacey Houghton. Can you say hi to all the race fans around the country?
Hi.
Now, Lacey is a quarter-midget race car driver at Salisbury. And you won a special award last year. What was that award that you got at the banquet?
Rookie of the Year.
And you were driving Blue Rookies, and you were doing very well. But this year, you're going to change to a different class. What kind of car are you going to be racing this season?
Junior Honda.
Junior Honda. And you've tested your Junior Honda, I think, a couple times. Can you tell the difference in how fast you're going in a Junior Honda versus the rookie cars?
Yeah.
Is it more fun? Do you kind of really get into it and just you can tell that it takes not as long to get around the track in a Junior Honda?
Yeah.
Now, you've been very fortunate because I've seen some pictures of your car, and, we talk about on TV some of these cars are plain white or plain black. They have no sponsors. Well, you got a whole encyclopedia full of sponsors that your business manager, Mr. Rick Morris, has gone out, and he's a pretty good negotiator. You know what that means, right? Negotiator? Okay. So can you read your sponsors off so those, if they're listening out there, they'll know that you appreciate them sponsoring your race car? Do you have a list of them? Can you go ahead and read them all?
Mom and Dad, Morris Conveyor, Piedmont Candy, Action Industrial, Wilson and Sons Tools, Apple Baking Company, Houghton Racing, California.
So you've got a lot of sponsors that want to see you be a successful race car driver. And I know when you win a race, your family gets pretty excited. Because I've got some pictures of them getting excited when you win a race. But I'm just curious, when you're racing against 7 or 8 other drivers, do you know what's around you? Do you understand that you're trying to get around these cars and you kind of know they're trying to go fast too?
Yeah.
How did you decide you were going to drive a race car? Because, most of the time it takes, young people 4 or 5 or 6 years to decide. Here you're just, you're 7 years old? And you already had 2 years experience. It's unbelievable. So what made you decide? Now tell us where your dad works.
BK Racing.
Okay, so he's got into racing. Is that what got you interested, is the fact that he was a race car driver and been involved in racing?
Yeah.
Now does he get excited when Lacey does real well? And I know I've seen you climb out of the car before after a race, just smiling and just really beaming because you did a good job, and that just makes you want to come back next time, do it again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So who's your biggest fan at the track? Everybody has followings, and sometimes there's just 1 or 2 particular people that really is the biggest fan and really root for you. Who would that be?
I don't know.
Somebody said that it might be your business manager over here. Now, I'll give you a little bit of advice about having a business manager. You got to watch what they do for you, and you got to make sure you get your percentage of the take. And he'll understand what that means. But I also heard something, too. If you win a big race this year, are you going to get any kind of special prize or anything if you win a Junior Honda race?
Get more points?
You will definitely get more points. Anything else that you might get from your family that will help you race? I just heard there's something at stake, and I won't even say what it is because maybe you don't even know it. But you go out and win a Junior Honda race, and we're going to see if things start happening for you that you don't even know about. So are you excited about, in 3-4 weeks, we'll be out at the track? Are you excited about that first race?
Yeah.
Get out there, and are you nervous at all about going to a more competitive class? 'Cause like we said, the cars are faster. Drivers are probably all more experienced, which that means a lot, having a lot of time on the track. Are you worried or concerned or about what's going to happen?
No.
You're just going to go out there and buckle your helmet and go for it, right? Well, it's been a pleasure to watch you race the last couple of years, and you're a good race car driver. You have a lot of talent, a lot of potential, and we look forward to maybe interview you in Victory Lane this year. Would that be fun? Have you get the checker flag again?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for stopping by, Miss Houghton. I know it's a school night. Can't stay out too late. Have you got your homework done? Yes, yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for coming by. And be sure to put your name in the hat for the prizes from Z-Max Dragway. Okay? See this lady right here in the red coat, and she'll make sure you get your name in. We're going to take a break, turn it back over to the two amigos, and they're going to talk to this young man. So we'll be right back after a commercial break.
Today, community means more than the place you live. It's groups of people connected by shared interests and similar experiences. Your yoga class, your work colleagues, your book club. With all the communities in your life, shouldn't there be one for your financial life? We're First Community, financial experts here to work with you on your personal, business, investments, and insurance needs. That's the power of community.
We are live on Triad Sports Coverage Sports Talk. We're back. We have driver Blake Cisneros in the house. Blake Cisneros, a Bandolero and mini outlaw kart driver. How have things been going over at Millbridge and Concord?
Yeah, we've been racing at Millbridge pretty good so far. In a couple weeks, we're going to be back. We've been working some adjustments on the car, hoping to get more faster. But right now, we're trying to run for championships in all Millbridge. And my bando, we're working on it to get back for the first race at Concord Speedway. Ready to be back with all the good drivers in the nation, like DJ and everything. I'm ready to race again.
Yes, I think all three of us are ready to race again.
Oh, heck yeah. I can't wait till the season.
I think I've been on iRacing every night.
Yeah.
But, does that describe you?
Yeah.
You got kicked off, didn't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, any new sponsors, or how's that been going?
Bo's been really taking good care of me for right now, of all my stuff that I need. My dad, my mom's been putting some money in so I can just race and live out here.
Yeah, that's awesome. I saw where you got a new helmet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Are you going to be racing anything new next season?
We're gonna try to test out a USAC midget at Ace.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's been something I've been wanting to do for a while. But
So Ryan, what are your plans for the 2015 race season?
limited late model at Motor Mile and Hickory, but we'll find a few tracks on the way there. I'm sure we'll be running that.
That's cool, yeah. I'll be running the limited late model at Hickory and Motor Mile too, and probably branch off into some other tracks like South Boston, Southern Nationals. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah,
probably be racing you quite a bit.
That'll be awesome.
Just like the old quarter midget days.
And I'm sure Blake will be up here pretty soon, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I can't wait to race you. That's going to be fun. I wanted to race you at Victory Lane, but that didn't quite work out.
Yeah, no. You get to ride the kid carts.
Yes, I'd like to say I didn't, but I did.
I get to race the adult carts.
What tracks do you plan on racing at next year?
Well, Millbridge, that's probably going to be the main track in my mini outlaw, probably, because there's not really a lot of other tracks. Millbridge would be that. And my bando, probably just Concord and Charlotte, because really I'm going to try to go full-time on my dirt, because I think that I like that a lot better.
And what division will you be running in for outlaw carts next year?
I'll be running in the intermediate still, and then when I probably turn 13, they might approve me to race the opens.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Those things really sling mud.
When you race the Ford Focus, what tracks are you going to plan on running at?
The midget?
Yeah, the midget.
Well, I'm not really sure yet. We're just seeing what we're going to do, if we are or if we're not. We're probably going to run, I think we're talking about Hickory and Ace and all that.
Those are good tracks, yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Hickory. Beware when it's afternoon. You're blind going into one.
Yeah.
If the sun sets just right, you've raced at Hickory,
Oh,
right?
yeah, it's
if
real
the
bad.
sun sets just right, I think it's from like maybe 3 o'clock till 4:30, something like that.
Right around that qualifying time.
Yes.
Yeah.
You tape up your windshield to keep from
yeah.
seeing.
Yeah.
But you can't really do that in a midget because there's no windshield.
Make sure you have a good visor.
Yep, that's for sure.
My mom's afraid to change my visor. She's afraid it'll strip out.
Yeah.
I have all the colors, but I can't use them.
Yeah.
What team will you be running for in the USAC midget?
I'm be racing with Bo Beaker Motorsports. I think Hunter's going to come along too in the USAC midgets, so I think me and him are going to be running pretty good.
Yes, y'all have definitely taken the Millbridge really fast. Y'all have taken Millbridge by storm, winning the intermediate championship, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah, we both have actually. So.
Yeah, and you've been winning a lot of races lately.
Yes, I have. Hunter's working on it. In the Open, it's not really easy.
Yeah, Open is probably the most competitive. They always have a packed house for Open.
Yeah.
That was probably the most popular class back when they had the Salute to the King race.
Yep.
And
well, yeah, we have the Speed Sport Challenge coming up, and I'm hoping I can win that. It's a big money prize, and the Opens are pretty big too because there's going to be a lot of big drivers out there like Rika Brew, probably Casey Kane, JJ Yelly like last year.
Yes, that's definitely a big race. A lot of publicity there.
Yep.
So, any other plans in 2015, or is that pretty much it?
I think we're going to stick with that right now.
Okay, and you never know.
Yeah.
Those are always. I've watched the USAC midgets. That looks like a lot of fun. They go faster than super late models. They're able to get to the gas a lot quicker because they're a lot lighter.
They're a lot of horsepower.
Yes, a lot of power. It'll probably it may take a while to adjust. I don't know, but you're a really good driver, so I'd be willing to bet that you'll take to it pretty quick and start running up front there, just like you have in Outlaw Karts.
Thanks.
So, Ryan, are you going to be at the Open Practice Media Day next weekend at Hickory Motor Speedway?
I think I'm going to be practicing. I know that for a fact. It's either going to be, if the weather's bad Saturday, we'll practice Friday after school and get as much in as we can before that blind time period comes in.
Yeah.
Where you don't know if you're going to make it through turn one or not.
Yeah.
But I think I'll be there.
Yeah. We're planning on coming out. Obviously, I can't do much with my broken arm, but we're going to try to run a couple laps to practice. See how comfortable I am in the car, and if I'm comfortable, then I'll probably race the first couple races. And pretty much just watch the other cars, get some lap times down so I know where we need to be for the start of the 2015 race season at Hickory.
Yes, practice is a big deal. In quarter midgets, it was just, I couldn't do anything without practice. I needed practice
in any car
nonstop.
you need practice. Yeah.
And with the late models, more so because I've never raced anything with fenders on it, and it's definitely different. There's nothing the same about a late model and a quarter midget, so it's definitely taken me a while to get used to them. But I feel like after going to Myrtle Beach and all these different places with with the competition that there was, I feel like I'm better prepared for 2015.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know. Blake, do you have anyone you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank Bo Beaker Motorsports. Bo's done a lot for me in the past, getting me all decked out with my suits. We're going to get some hero cars in soon. We've been doing good. My car looks great. And
I saw it on Facebook. It does look great.
Yep.
That and the helmet, they match. Is your suit going to match too?
Yep.
Awesome.
We're thanking SKE for the chassis and everything, and Panic Switch. And I got to thank Fast Signs for doing some of my wraps for my bandos. Let's say SKE is a big thing. They're giving me some discounts on my chassis. Those are really good chassis, I think. That's what's putting me up front right now in the setups.
All right. I'd like to thank Blake Cisneros for coming on the show. Great guest. And with that, we will go into a commercial break.
Yep, thank you for having me.
Is your business going to die alone? Never meet the customers of its dreams? Just sit on the couch crying into a carton of ice cream while other businesses are out there thriving? New Expression can help. Without the right marketing, you're a wallflower. Without a great website, you're not going to turn heads. And without social media, you don't even have a friend to tell people what a great personality you have. New Expression can give your business a total brand makeover and get you out there, attracting customers. It used to be about who had the biggest ad in the phone book. Today, customers hit the web to locate and research before they call. If Google isn't steering customers to your site or they're not impressed by what they see, you're missing out. New Expression does web design and can provide a free analysis to see how your site stacks up against the competition. Don't have time to constantly update social media? Want cool custom apps and graphics? New Expression can help there too. From print design to mobile marketing to online presence to brand identity, New Expression can help you express yourself. Find out more at nuexpression.com.
In Concord, North Carolina. We're here with triadsportscoverage.com, Race Talk, and I would also like to thank Buffalo Wild Wings for letting us host this incredible event, talking about racing, and also I would also like to thank the Autism Society of North Carolina for making this happen. So, Sam, what are you going to be doing for this 2015 race season?
I'm going to go, I'm testing a car hopefully this weekend, as long as it doesn't rain, and then, hopefully we can get racing sometime soon in that car. But I didn't run anything last year. Just, racing takes money issues and stuff like that after we had a technical issue on one of my cars and ended up wrecking it pretty bad. So it's been about a year since I've been racing, but I spent my off time last year announcing races at the NCQMA Speedway for TriadSportsCoverage.com. So
yeah,
I've been able
now,
to
what
stay
are these
with
cars
racing.
you're talking about running this season or testing?
Hopefully we'll be getting into some sort of midget racing.
Okay,
over
that's cool.
with the Eastern midget.
What tracks are you going to run in that midget?
We really haven't decided that yet. I mean, it'll be obviously stuff around here, but I mean, it depends how testing goes as to where we end up running.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's cool.
And Sam, if I heard correctly, you're going to be promoting a race this year.
Yeah, I'm doing something with, we have friends that are part of a rescue for dogs called the Blue Ridge Boxer Rescue. And on the 28th of March, in a conjunction with the first NCQMA Point Series race, I have the rescue coming out. They're going to be showing off some of their dogs and giving some information about the rescue. And then we're going to have raffles and some other things like that to try to raise money for that charity.
Do you have a date for when this race will be going on?
It's in conjunction with the first points race,
Okay.
NCQMA, on March 28th.
Okay, so those of you wanting to come out for that race, you can go to ncqma.com. You can go to schedule and find out when the first points race is, and that's going to be Sam's race.
March 28th.
Okay, so you do know.
That's
I
good.
do know.
Okay, that's awesome. I've always thought it'd be pretty cool to be able to promote a race or a track or something like that, but unfortunately that takes money, and you can't race and promote tracks and stuff like that. And you did a good bit of announcing last year for Triad Sports Coverage last year. Did you think that you picked up anything watching that racing that you could possibly carry to midgets? And you're also a former quarter midget driver, so do you think that quarter midgets has prepared you for this next step?
I'm sure that going from a quarter midget to a full-size midget will feel less of a transition from, like, you and Jake going from the open-wheeled to more of the full-bodied cars, but they're different animals. I mean, the quarter midget, it's just such a small track you're running there, and then with these bigger machines, it's, you've got much bigger tracks, and also it's just all about the throttle and getting on the brakes and all that stuff that you didn't really have to bother with in quarter midgets because the cars were just so stable to where you could really hop on the throttle, and then with all the power that the midgets have, you can't do that. So that's going to be really the biggest adjustment, just getting used to the bigger size car and feeling out, throttle and all that for each different track will just be the most challenging thing in my first year.
Yes, I remember when I first moved up, we went testing, and the billboards were flying by at what seemed like 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I was going into the corner, and it felt so fast. And then they're like, "Well, if we can shave about 2 seconds off our lap time, we'll run with the front." And I'm like, "What? Feels like I'm flying around this place." I'm sure it'll be a new experience for you in the midgets.
I realized when I started testing the Allison Legacy Series car, we were at Rockingham, Little Rock, the track behind the big track, and we were running, and I felt like it was slow because quarter midgets are so fast. I mean, you're running around a track that's a 20th of a mile, and you're going like 6 seconds fast, like each lap. So I mean, that was pretty fun. And then now you're going back to like 30-second laps back at that track. So it's a pretty big difference in track size and speed. So I actually felt slower, it seemed, but we're actually pretty fast. It was crazy.
But at the same time, you can feel the RPMs and the power and the vibrations and everything. It feels a lot more powerful.
Oh yeah.
That'll be one thing that you notice once you get into those. And you drove a Legend car, so you've already got a good idea of how that feels and everything.
Yeah, we were in a Legend car for a short period of time earlier in early 2014.
Yes.
What happened in that Legends car?
We didn't put it back together quite properly with the braking and smashed it into a wall because the brakes didn't work.
That's not good.
I think they should give you that wall. I think they should carve it out, and that's like they put in a golden plate on it that's engraved Sam's wall or something like that, and you should put it in your bonus room.
Sign it with your Sharpie. Autograph it.
I don't have a Sharpie from my crew chief like Ryan does, so you know.
Oh, hey, I didn't even know that I'd taken this. I guess I just put it in my box after the autograph session, but you can tell it was my crew chief's because it's covered in grease.
Imagine that. Working on your race car.
It came out of the war wagon, I know that.
Yeah.
But, Sam, would you like to tell us a little bit about your quarter midget career and the different tracks you raced at and how you did?
Yeah, I ran mostly around the East Coast back when in my quarter midget career back that ended in 2013. You know, we did pretty well. We should have had a couple more championships, but you know, things happen in terms of races. You get in wrecks or whatever. So I mean, but we ended up with I believe 9 or 10 championships in all and around 90 wins. So I mean, we were pretty successful in that time. So I guess the one of the harder things also transitioning into the midgets is going to be not winning every weekend because especially my last year when I had a lot of experience, we were normally up in the front, and that'll be another change which I'm not going to adjust to very well because I get annoyed when I don't win.
Yes, I think just about every racer out there wants to win. But you had a really respectable career. You won a lot of races, competed for the national tour. You traveled with us. What was your favorite track out of all those that you ran at?
I really enjoyed at the end of 2013 into the into February in 2014. My final race in the quarter midget was at the indoors up in Columbus, and we brought our AA up there, which is the fastest yacht in quarter midgets, and I mean that thing was just a blast around the indoors.
Did I miss out on anything by not going up there?
I would say you did. That place is it's a lot of fun.
Everybody's telling me that. What makes indoors so special?
It's just different. You get a different feeling running around in that building, and I mean it's really hard to explain what it is about that speedway, but it's just something different, and it's really just an enjoyable experience, other than the fact that you're freezing. But
Jake, did you ever go up to indoors?
No, one year we were planning to, and then I broke my other arm. And
wow.
Well, we were gonna run it.
That's a bad habit, you know.
Yeah, really.
I mean, you need to break it.
Yeah, I need to
just
stop.
like you broke that arm.
Yeah.
Oh, see what I did there?
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, I was giving Jake a hard time earlier. I'm like, how do you break your arm a couple weeks before race season starts? I mean, come on, man.
I'm still functional. I can still drive. I'm perfectly fine.
Oh, well, that's what everybody says. I mean, I'm sure Tony Stewart was back in the back of the hospital with his broken leg. Hey, I want to race. But now it's time for a commercial break.
Today, community means more than the place you live. It's groups of people connected by shared interests and similar experiences. Your yoga class, your work colleagues, your book club. With all the communities in your life, shouldn't there be one for your financial life? We're First Community, financial experts here to work with you on your personal, business, investments, and insurance needs. That's the power of community.
And we are back live at Buffalo Wild Wings, the home of the Jake and Ryan show on a Monday night in February. Have you guys enjoyed co-hosting this talk show?
Yes, sir. It's been great. I love every opportunity I can get on the radio. It's some extra promotion. I'm sure Jake can say the same.
Oh, yeah, it's been awesome. Thanks for having us.
So you two guys drive race cars?
Yeah.
Really?
I think so. I don't know.
Ryan, tell me about your season coming up. What are you going to be driving?
I'm going to be driving a limited late model at Hickory and Motor Mile for sure. We'll probably branch off and do a few other tracks because who likes sitting at home? I mean, when there's racing going on, you got to be there to get the experience and have the fun, you know?
So let me bring up a sore subject. How are you doing in the school?
It's actually going pretty well, actually.
I remember you telling me stories about how bored you were. You wanted to get back to the racetrack. You didn't want to be in the classroom.
I'll admit it's boring, but I mean, that's really the number one thing. You gotta succeed in school. I mean, if this racing thing doesn't work out, I want to work at a race shop. That would be awesome. But you can't make any money and be able to race without doing well in school and getting a good job and going to college.
Maybe you can be a broadcaster.
Hey.
Never know. Mr. Ruggles, what are your plans this upcoming season?
For this season, we're going to be running a limited late model at Hickory and Motor Mile, most likely. Those are our two primary tracks. And then once I get my experience and, like, I'm comfortable in the car and I learn to race, basically, in the late model, probably going to branch off into some other tracks, like we're talking about Southern National and also maybe South Boston. And then towards the end of the year, we're also most likely going to run the big Martinsville race. We're going to give it a shot there and see how it goes.
Now, you'll be competing against each other in the late models?
Sadly.
Yes, we had some good battles back in quarter midgets, so I'm sure it'll be great to get back on the track together and race each other just like old times.
Yep.
Now, you both have tested at Hickory, and you actually raced at Hickory, I think.
Yes, it's a difficult track. It's very hard on your tires, so by the end of a run, it doesn't matter if you've done 20 laps or 100 laps, you're going to be loose, you're going to be sliding. It's all about car control and being able to keep it under you, under those conditions. And like I said before, that blind spot going into 1 and 2 late in the afternoon, you'll right around qualifying time, and you don't know where you're at. That's
Yeah, it very much is. And also, Hickory's a tough track because, well, one day it will be perfect, and then the other day it will be awful. So, I mean, that track changes within every hour also. So, I mean, and then you'll just be super slow, and you're thinking it's either the driver or the car, the tires, or anything. And it's just a track, and you just got to adjust the car to the track and how it goes.
It's like my dad used to say about quarter midgets. He had a joke, I have one setup and the track comes to me.
Daytona 500 winner who cut his teeth in quarter midgets racing. So that, to me, two young drivers like you that have a lot of ambition, a lot of talent, a lot of support.
Thank you.
That's got to give you, like a goal, like, you can do it. You can come out of quarter midgets and you can become. But you look down the road, obviously your goal is to race as long as your talent will take you, I suppose.
Well, I sure hope. It'd be awesome to race NASCAR. But if that don't work out, like I said, getting a good education, and you can be around racing in other ways. And if you make enough money by getting that education, you can race on the side. But no, my number one goal in life is to get to NASCAR. I think that would be the greatest thing ever.
So your mission is to become a NASCAR driver.
Yes.
And Jake, what's your ultimate goal?
Well, my biggest goal is not just to be a NASCAR driver, but be a championship NASCAR driver. That's my big goal right there. And win races, get into the top 3 NASCAR. I want to start out in the Truck Series. That'd be nice. Get my name out there, move up the ranks, move into Nationwide, and then move into the Sprint Cup Series and start winning races and start winning championships.
And winning will get your name out there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's one way to get recognition is whatever level you race at. If you're always winning or up in the top, those are names that are called out all the time on the racetrack announcing, so everybody knows who you are.
Yeah.
Nobody really remembers second. Everybody remembers the winner, but they don't remember second.
But you know, and I think I've told you this, Ryan, before, is always remember when you're racing at these beginning levels, you never know who's in the stands watching the race. So be sure to keep your temper in check and don't do anything foolish, because you never know when someone's watching.
Yes, I actually, back when I ran karts, I actually was told by my dad, Joey Logano was there. And my little brother met him, got his autograph, got him to sign my lap card sheet and everything. Said he was super nice, but he was gone by the time I got up, so I didn't even know, which is pretty neat to know that those people are there. They are watching out. It's cool, you know.
And, you know, if they recognize an extra special talent, but when you get out of the car, you turn them off completely, then that's going to ruin what you just showed them on the track. So it's a total package, and I think both you young men understand that. I know
Thank you.
I've seen you race a lot, and I know that, first of all, if you didn't control yourself, I don't think your mom and dad would put up with it. So.
Oh, no. I'd be out of the car. They'd yank me right out, and I'd be done.
Now, both of you raced at the quarter-midget tracks in Salisbury, and I'm sure you learned a lot. Everybody says you learn car control because everything happens so quickly on a quarter-midget. And when you get into a full-body car, it's like they slowed everything down all of a sudden, which, you know, for someone who's not into racing, you may think that's just the opposite, but I can see where you're in a little quarter-midget, very small track, 1/20th of a mile, and you're always got your hand in the wheel. You're always trying to hit that mark. And when something does happen, it's like when someone spins out, coming out of turn 4, and you're down the backstretch, and there's no communication into your earphone. It's hard to get stopped.
Stuff happens so fast on that quarter-midget track. I mean, it's sprint car racing on a smaller scale. The cars are smaller. The track is smaller. I mean, it's exciting. It's some of the best racing you'll see. I mean, you can go to a cup race and watch this, but it's also at your local tracks, and even young kids doing it.
Yeah.
And obviously with Jeff Gordon and Joey Logano starting in quarter midgets, it's a very good form of racing. One thing that's neat about it, it's a family sport. When you come to the racetrack, you don't drop off your kid and go home. You're invested fully in that racetrack that whole day. And as you know, both of you know, those Saturdays can be long sometimes.
Yes, people who complain about an hour-long soccer game or something like that, they have no idea. We're there all day. And we spent the night sometimes at the track.
Yep. Once you start racing, you can't stop, pretty much.
So, Jake, what do you think, and maybe I've asked you this before, what did quarter midget do for you to help you propel your career into the stock cars?
Well, in quarter midgets, you got to have the reaction time, and you got to focus on what's ahead of you. You can't drive off the front of your car. You got to always be watching ahead. That's what I learned in quarter midgets. So I used that in Allison Legacy cars, and I'm going to continue to use that in late models. So I mean, when there's a wreck, everybody's just like, "How did he miss it?" And I'm just like, quarter midgets. I had the reaction time in those, and I still do. So I mean, it helps a lot.
It really helps you out. You started having spotters when you started driving late models, which was something new to you. Two-way communication. How did you adjust to that? And did you adapt to it right away, depending on those words coming from up top that help you around?
Well, it being my first race and everything, I enjoyed having somebody talking to me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I was
Same
racing
here.
a huge car compared to what I had been. A lot faster, a lot more can go wrong and everything, more dangerous. But just knowing that you've got that eye in the sky, knowing if somebody's going to dive bomb you or something, just knowing that they're going to tell you when it's coming. I mean, it's good to know when stuff like that's happening.
Yeah, it definitely helps because you got to focus on driving. You can't be driving out your mirrors, so it really helps having that eye in the sky to help us.
I don't have a left side mirror, so I don't even see if anyone's passing me, but I can look in the back and see how close somebody is to me with that mirror, but I usually don't let my eyes drift up there. I try and keep it keep focused on what's in front of me.
I hate mirrors. They're distracting, that's for sure.
Now, in the open wheel cars, you can't touch anybody because it'll be a wreck. But
No.
you got these full body door slammers. Did you get around the corner? They always say 8 wheels can track better than 4. You ever lay that right side into somebody on the inside and kind of?
Not yet. I've been taught that if you can pass someone cleanly, you'll gain a lot more respect than if you just go and door somebody. I mean, I don't like being raced that way, so unless you do it to me, I'm not going to do it to you.
Especially since we came out of open wheel cars, basically, and if you do that, I mean, you're going to wreck. You can't do that, so you got to learn to race clean, and I've pretty much brought that into stock car racing as well, so they're racing side by side and rubbing, and it's easier to pass them clean and keep your stuff clean so you don't get wrecked, basically.
And like you said, you've learned car control, so whether it's a limited or a late model or a quarter midget, you can control it and keep it under your control and not what somebody else is doing.
Yeah.
What's the? I'm going to ask both of you. What's your highlight of your racing career up to this young age? What sticks out that you either a win or whatever, or something that you really think about?
Well, in the Legacy Series, for me, it was probably the 2013 Rookie of the Year. I really worked hard at that. We had our ups and downs, but mainly our ups were the best, obviously. But we had a really good time. I beat Trevor Bain for the youngest Rookie of the Year ever in that series. He was 13. I was 12, I think. So that was pretty exciting. I was pretty happy about that.
For me, it's probably the Little Hoosier 100. I mean, we had an awful week at Indy. We did bad. We had lost the national championship. But going into that race, we thought, well, another parking lot. It's going to be the same outcome. We're not going to do good. But no, we ended up lapping up. We lapped 4th place. We lapped everybody but 2nd and 3rd, and they were nowhere near me. I mean, it just wasn't real. It was awesome.
You mentioned a parking lot. Some of the races that the quarter midget circuit goes through, they set up a track in a parking lot. They put up the barriers, and they make a racetrack out of it.
Yes, it's pretty much a temporary track. It's about the same size as a quarter midget track, but it's like at Indy Motor Speedway, they go to, I think it's where they park the RVs, and they put up the walls and the tires, and they basically make a makeshift track in the infield.
But the racing surface in parking lots is pretty bad, I would imagine. It's not like the smooth concrete at Salisbury.
No, it's real bumpy. It's real rough on those parking lot tracks.
And in the center of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, there's seam, and when you hit it I was actually dreading running World Formula because it's so much faster than Senior Honda, but in Senior Honda, the whole front end felt like it was about to come off when you hit it, but it was basically like hitting a barrier. But when I got into World Formula, I found out that you actually glide over it in that. It's kind of strange.
Wow. Well, we're going to wrap this session up of our show. We have another guest coming on, and we're going to have our next guest actually draw the names out for the winners of our prizes that Lenny Baticki from Charlotte Motor Speedway brought by for the 4-wide Nationals. So we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to have a special guest come on.
Today, community means more than the place you live. It's groups of people connected by shared interests and similar experiences. Your yoga class, your work colleagues, your book club. With all the communities in your life, shouldn't there be one for your financial life? We're First Community, financial experts here to work with you on your personal, business, investments, and insurance needs. That's the power of community.
We want to welcome another, I'm going to call her a special guest, and it's for a lot of reasons. And we're going to start out by saying that she is the newest member of TriadSportsCoverage.com broadcast team. And Miss Lola Keeney is going to be our pit reporter. And believe me, she has plenty of practice interviewing kids because she is the real voice of the NCQMA. And she has passion and love for those kids. And this year we're going to let her take our microphone down in the pits and talk to these young drivers when they climb out of their cars. And she well knows when you ask a little kid a question, you never know what you're going to get.
That's for sure.
But first of all, thanks for accepting your new duties at the track.
Well, thanks for asking me to do this, Mike.
We're looking forward to having a great time at the track. I know you and your husband have given a lot of your effort and time and money and everything else for that track, and it's been a real pleasure for TriadSportsCoverage.com to get to know folks like you and your kids, of course, but watching some of the best race car drivers at that age in the country, it's amazing, and I know that it's going to be fun for us this year.
Yeah.
And I know you hurried over here from work, so I appreciate that.
No problem.
But we're going to give away some prizes, and I want you to draw the names out of the hat. That's your first official duty as a Triad Sports Coverage person.
So now instead of hearing my voice in the background, they're going to hear my voice on real time.
And then you're going to, and when we do the Cup races, we're going to have 2 microphones, so that whatever you say on the track is going to be broadcast. So, and when I first, I haven't announced this publicly, I guess I have now, but I noticed Donnie said when I mentioned your name, our ratings went way up.
Oh, yay.
So we know who to bring into our midst to increase our ratings. See, Donnie and I do basketball games together, and we can't find the ratings anywhere. I don't think we have any. But we're going to have, I think Ellen got everybody's name, is that correct? And the first name we draw out is going to be a Z-Max Dragway hat, and Ellen's going to deliver it. So just take a name out of there. We don't have a drum roll, but we do have a name. She's actually dropped one and put that in the hat.
I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see.
And the winner is
Sam Hatfield.
Sam got a hat. Sam, by the way, is also a member of TriadSportsCoverage.com's broadcasting team, and he will be doing calling the races again this year, except when he's out racing, which is his first love, out to be driving a race car. Mr. Repko is welcome to do some broadcasting if he's in town. I know he's going to be a busy young man too, but
I'm up for it. I love being on Triad Sports Coverage.
Now we're going to draw out for another hat. We have total 2 hats to give away. We do have a drums. There you go. And the second hat goes to Lacey Houghton. Again,
that's one of our young stars too.
Again, these prizes are courtesy of the Z-Max Dragway for the upcoming 4 Wide Nationals. Have you ever been to the 4 Wide Nationals?
I don't think so.
Well, if you ever go...
I'm busy, Mike. I can't.
If you ever go, be sure your shoes are on tight and you have earphones because it will blow you right off the bleachers.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I love drag racing.
Your husband used to be a drag racer, didn't he?
Volkswagens.
Volkswagens?
Oh, let me tell you.
How did you get enough rubber bands for that?
Well, we had to raid Abby's hairband, her hairband jar.
The last hat to be given away tonight is going to...
Jordan Smithson.
Jordan gets a Z-Max Dragway hat. Now, as Johnny Carson says, I've got the envelope here, and it has 4 tickets to Sunday's finals of the Z-Max.
Lola, you better draw my name.
4 Wide.
I'm thinking my name.
Strip.
No.
Now, remember, folks, it's March 29th is a Sunday, so we have our first points race to 28th.
That's okay.
So Sunday when you get up, you can go down to Z-Max. And if you don't win the tickets, go down there anyway because you will see the world's best drag racers.
Oh, yeah.
And believe me, they're very accessible in the pits. We've been down and walked through the garages and talked to them. One of our favorites, Ellen and I were there, and we got to meet and talk to Tony Pedregon, who is an absolute gentleman. Just fun to be there. So if you're in the area, go out and support the Z-Max Dragway.
Yes.
So now, for the big prize, and everybody's wanting that name to come out, for 4 tickets to Sunday's finals. And the winner is...
Mary Repko.
Mary
Yes.
Repko.
Close enough to yours, right?
Yeah, I know.
Ryan?
I'm related. I get to go.
Mary Repko gets 4 tickets to the Z-Max Dragway for the 4 Wide Nationals. That's a neat award for her because Mary was also our sports person of the year for TriadSportsCoverage.com. She has given countless hours for the betterment of NCQMA over the years.
Yes.
And now that her little boys have grown up, she's going big-time racing. So as the Ruggles family are going to keep promoting their young kids in the racing. So In a few years, we're going to be seeing these names probably on TV. Remember, Repco and Ruggles.
Yep.
And we hope when you guys get, well, you're going to still be broadcasting. But when you hear these names, Hatfield, Repco, or Ruggles, or Miss Kinney, remember where you got your start in CQMA. That's going to wrap up tonight's fundraiser for the Autism Society of North Carolina. Buffalo Wild Wings has been very gracious, and they donate 10% of today's profits to the charity of choice. And tonight we were representing, on behalf of the Ruggles family, the Autism Society of North Carolina. And we've had 3 shows down here, and it's been an absolute blast every time we come down here. And I want people to stay tuned. There's going to be a big announcement that's going to impact a lot of people that we deal with regularly in racing, and we're looking forward to it. And Lola, you're pretty hard to get excited, so are you going to be excited when I give you the microphone and you go out in the pits?
I'm sure I will be.
Did you watch any of the races on TV and see how those pit reporters...
I did. I picked up a lot of pointers Sunday watching the race.
So you've got it all ready. See, that's going to be
ready.
fun because, I'm going to take a back seat this year and watch everybody else do it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun.
There you go.
But
Time for you to sit back and relax and watch some racing.
Oh, yes, of course. I never get excited at races either. But, again, thank you for joining our team. We're looking forward to it. Thank you, Ryan Repco and Jake Ruggles and Sam Hatfield. And look at that hat on Lacey Houghton, Z-Max Dragway. That's a cool hat. So we're going to wrap this show up. We want to thank Lenny Batecki for coming by from Charlotte Motor Speedway and donating these prizes. Look forward to maybe doing some other things with Lenny over the racing season. And again, congratulations to a former quarter midget driver, Joey Logano, who now has a Daytona 500 win in his pocket, which is amazing and special, and obviously it's something that every driver dreams about. And like we told these young kids, if Jeff Gordon and Joey Logano can do it, why can't some of these kids do it?
Exactly.
Just keep working hard. So for everyone that came by tonight, thank you for listening out in the World Wide Web, we call it. Thank you, Mr. Donnie Baldridge, for making the trip down from Winston-Salem. I think we do have another guest, which I didn't know. Yep, we're going to have. We have a daughter replacing her mother on the headphones, and it's Abigail, otherwise known as Abby Kinney. And you've been on my show a couple or 3 times, I believe. We were over at some other location. Did you know your mom was going to be our pit reporter this year at the racetrack?
Not until she told me.
So that's going to be exciting. That's something she hasn't done before.
No.
But you're going to be driving race cars again.
Yep.
But you told me something when I came in. You were going to start racing dirt cars, too.
Yes.
And will it be at the local track here in Salisbury?
Yes, over at
Millbridge?
Millbridge.
So you're going to be busy racing 2 or 3 times a week.
Yes.
Have you practiced your dirt car at all?
I don't have one right now, but we're planning on getting one.
So have you talked to some kids who race both dirt and asphalt and see what the difference is and how you're going to have to adjust to your driving style?
I've talked, when I went over there for Community Day, I've talked to some parents, and what they said, it was kind of different, but it wasn't really different.
I think you'll do just fine because you do a great job at the asphalt or the concrete oval in Salisbury.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to watching you race. It's almost time to go racing again.
Yeah.
March 28th will be the first points race.
Yes.
And I'm sure you'll be there with your race. You got more people on your race team than some of the Sprint Cup drivers. I mean, you got 2 or 3 families follow you around. I mean, it must be nice to have all that support.
Yes.
And you know when your car is broken, there's plenty of people with wrenches wanting to help you.
Yeah.
So that must make you feel good.
Yeah.
Well, good luck this season. It's going to be fun to watch you race, and hopefully you can go out there and show them how it's done and win some more races.
Thank you.
Okay? And good luck to you. Thank you, Ms. Abigail Kinney, who is the daughter of our new pit reporter, Lola Kinney. So we are now going to sign off, and we'll be back on the air Saturday for a college softball doubleheader, weather permitting, in beautiful Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and back on the air Sunday for another college softball doubleheader. And stay tuned for the update on our news that we've been teasing with tonight, but we do have some things in the works that I think are going to be pretty cool, and we appreciate everyone who's come on board with us. And I will mention that this year's racing, again, will be sponsored by Flash Products. He manufactures the quarter midget engines, and he's out of Winston-Salem. He's agreed to come on board again this year and be my title sponsor for the racing coverage. So thanks, Mr. Youngchuck, for stepping up and doing that. So for everyone involved in triadsportscoverage.com, I want to thank you for listening. And for real, we're going to sign off this time, producer. So until next time we meet, thanks for joining us. And if you get a chance, stop by the NCQMA on Saturday, March 28th. Turn right around on Sunday, March 29th, and drive on down to Concord at the ZMAX Dragway for the 4-Wide Nationals. And a special thanks to Lenny Baticki. Until next time, we will see you on the air. Thank you. Good night. Peace and all that good stuff. And as Alex says, adios.
Thanks for listening to this week's edition of Sports Talk on Triad Sports Coverage. For more great podcasts, check out the media page on triadsportscoverage.com.